Alright, well here's another library we could try.
Uh, Seems like it is quite aptly named, huh?
Yeah, very nice blooms. How about this table? Oh, we want to bring the books first, don't we?
Yes. Sitting down might, probably feel better because we've been walking all day, but kind of have to get the book to read in order to actually look for things.
Yeah, I'll go grab a few from. These look old. Thank you. And that. And one of those. Okay. And yeah, that should be enough. Excellent.
Let's start here and see where we go.
This table looks. We gotta switch the message again.
I dropped the books too loud, didn't I?
It's okay.
I just got excited. I didn't mean to.
That's okay. That's okay. They can't shush books. They can only shush us.
This one looks interesting. Mythological monsters and curious creatures.
Sure. I'll go look at this one. I wonder why there's brackets around the S. Sphinx. 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 Another. Is this whole book about? Is this whole book about sphinxes? I need another book. I need another book. I can't do that one.
Maybe it has something about your sphinx.
That's not what we're here to research right now. I could spend all day working on that.
Okay. Well, this one says deities and gods. Whom to pray to and whom should pray to you.
Oh, that sounds like an oddly popular celebrity kind of style take on the deities. And can we find our bud Dynamore in here? Oh, the goddesses. Oh, it says pray to them. That's good.
Well, I would hope so.
I mean, we could burn it if it didn't, right?
There's surprisingly little on him.
Yeah, that tracks. This book looks like it's old, but maybe a little bit newer than whenever you get stuck in Bruno.
Let's see. Masterpieces of Yabreth, a visual guide to our world. Looks like it's almost entirely drawings and maps.
Oh, wait, that map is from the Koi Crush.
Is it?
It is. Yeah, why, yes, that is a bet. Yeah, I spent some time there, but yesterday we found the account of the wilderness guide who was down in the Koi Crush, and they kept seeing like creatures disappear, much like our livestock. The Koi Crush might be important. Maybe we can find more about that. Maybe more people have seen that, encountered that. Picture may not be so helpful here, but that's the right idea.
I think that would have been really helpful insight like 4 shops ago.
Pictures help sometimes.
This one has an interesting title. Dragons. So long, farewell, and thanks for all the kobolds.
Well, at least they like the kobolds. Oh, that's just rude. We are not large lizards.
Are you offended when people call you a lizard?
Yeah, unless they're like comparing me to Hollard because he's a great lizard wizard.
I see what you did there.
He's my grand wizard lizard.
Well, this one might be good. It's got a leather cover.
It looks old too.
It says Whispers from a Silent Glade, the Edminton Papers.
Alright, that's got an intriguing name. That sounds like there could be something interesting in there.
Let's see. It seems to be a book of accounts from a hunter, perhaps?
That looks right. Looks like it's in chronological order.
Let's see.
It looks like that one he just stood around all day.
Yes, I'm trying to see if there's any mention of the Aethermeyer.
What? Aethermeyer might not be quite what we're looking for. Looks like he's in the Koi Crush, which that matches up what we're looking for.
Feolanter III. A curious letter arrived today. Its origins as mysterious as its contents. The missive, written in a script I've never encountered, pleads for my expertise in Cloycresh, a dense jungle in the southern Yabareth. It speaks of an elusive predator that's been terrorizing the region. A creature so stealthy, it's become the stuff of local legends. No name is given, only a warning. It moves unseen, unheard, and leaving no trace but fear. In my twilight years, such an enigmatic query is irresistible.
That sounds like what we're looking for. Also, can I have you read all of the books that I'm going to read to me like that? They sound so much better when you like say them out loud.
Why?
Your voice is just really good at reading books.
Okay, I mean, sure, I don't see why not.
I, Lord Edminton Quincy Steelwell, have deliberately omitted the year from these particular journal entries. The reason for this discretion will become painfully evident upon reading, as the events herein have cast long, dark shadows over both my reputation and the lands that I once roamed. Phalantar III. A curious letter arrived today, its origins as mysterious as its contents. The missive, written in a script I've never encountered, pleads for my expertise in Cloycresh, a dense jungle in southern Yabareth. It speaks of an elusive predator that's been terrorizing the region. A creature so stealthy it's become the stuff of local legends. No name is given, only a warning. It moves unseen, unheard, leaving no trace but fear. In my twilight years, such an enigmatic quarry is irresistible. Phalantar VII. 4 days of research have yielded little about my target. Cloycresh itself is well documented, a jungle notorious for its impenetrable canopy, venomous flora, and ruins older than the Empire. But this predator, mere whispers. Tribal shamans speak of a spirit that hunts, while colonial reports mention livestock vanishing without a sound. One account from a surviving hunter caught my eye. It's there, in the green, watching. No tracks, no remains, just the wind, then nothing. I'm calling it the Phantom Stalker, apt for a ghost that bleeds its victims. Phalantar 11th. I depart at dawn, alone as always. My peers call it pride, I call it necessity. No one else can match my silent tread or keen eye. For this hunt, I'm traveling light. My enchanted black powder pistol, forged by dwarven gunsmiths and imbued with fey magic, it never misses its mark. My rapier, a masterpiece from the elemental plane of air, whispers through any defense. Most crucial are my traps, each work of arcane engineering. Pressure plates that adapt to any weight, sensors that detect body heat, and snares that phase shift to entangle ethereal beings. If this Phantom Stalker is half as spectral as they say, I shall be prepared. Phalantar 18th. A week through the Iron Spine Mountains, and my old bones feel every jagged inch. Yesterday, a misstep on black ice nearly sent me plummeting. A rookie error. I'd have mocked in my younger hunters had I seen this previously. Is this Phantom Stalker to be my last challenge? My final trophy? The thought spurs me on. By nightfall I'll reach the Goldmire Plains. Its shifting bogs and deceptive paths are a fitting prelude to Cloycresh's mysteries. Phalantar 25th. The Goldmire tested me with its treacherous terrain, much like my 15th wife Evangeline with her labyrinthian schemes. 5 days of probing steps and calculated risks, but I've emerged unscathed at the jungle's threshold. Cloycresh looms before me, a wall of green, pulsating with unseen life. The air is a dense soup of humidity and decay, promising both vitality and death. As I set up camp, the jungle symphony, a chaotic blend of shrieks, hums, and growls, suddenly halts. For 3 heartbeats, silence reigns, and then life resumes. Was it merely animal instinct, or have I been noticed? Tomorrow I enter the verdant labyrinth. Millith 2nd. 1 week in Cloycrest's grasp, and I'm reminded that nature, not man, is the ultimate hunter. This jungle seems to resent intrusion. Vines snag at my boots, thorns seek gaps in my armor, and the very air clings to me, a second skin. My progress is glacial. Thrice I've backtracked, confounded by landscapes that rearrange when out of sight. Yet I persist. At each camp I set my phase-shifting snares and heat-scenting wards. So far only common beasts have triggered them, but yesterday a pressure plate registered a weight that seemed to distribute and then vanish. The phantom stalker knows I'm here. Mirlith 9th. 2 weeks after receiving that cryptic letter, and Cloycresh has become both battleground and opponent. The jungle fights to conceal its spectral tenant. I fight to expose it. Evidence of the phantom stalker is frustratingly scarce. A leaf here, a faint scrape there, signs most would miss. Yet, pieced together, they reveal a chilling picture. A predator that moves against the grain of its environment, blending so perfectly it wraps nature's patterns. Twice now I've felt unseen eyes. Once I whirled to catch a shimmer, like heat haze slipping into the green. Last night, my perimeter alarm chimed. Its enchanting tone signaled a body temperature far below the jungle's baseline. It's toying with me, this ghost beast. Tomorrow, I delve deeper to where the canopy turns day to dusk. There, in that verdant twilight, the hunter becomes the hunted. Mirlith 16th. I've stumbled upon a hidden elven settlement today. Their dwellings woven into the colossal trees. My appearance caused quite a stir. Whispers, pointing, and what I expect were snickers. An elder approached, his face a map of the jungle's age. In broken common, he proposed a trust ceremony. 100 push-ups to prove my worth. Ridiculous notion, but when in Cloycresh...
Oh yes, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Lord Edminton Quincy Steelwell. I humbly request your service in this hunting endeavor. What say you?
Shiny? Shiny?
Oh, perhaps you're talking about my armor. Yes, well, it keeps me quite safe, you see. It acts as though it's an exoskeleton. That is a deceptively deep voice for one of your stature. It is an honor to meet you. Do I shake the bird's hand or yours? Oh yes, that is much more advisable.
Ups and push. Ups and push.
You wish some sort of feat of physical exertion? Oh yes, I suppose that makes a lot of sense. Well, all right. We shall do it.
Despite my years, I completed the task, much to their wide-eyed surprise. Later, I overheard animated chatter and bursts and fits of laughter. It dawned on me. The whole ordeal was a jest at my expense.
And that's 100. There, you see? I could do 100 of those with my eyes closed. Perhaps in my sleep. What say you?
Oh, to have understood their tongue! I'd have regaled them with tales of my 17th wife Lucrezia, whose pranks were far more sophisticated. Mirlith 18th. Swallowing my pride, I've hired one of their hunters, a lithe male with keen eyes. No common language between us, but a shared quarry transcends words.
You know, this is a beautiful jungle. I haven't been this far south in quite some time. It'd be a shame if I had to sully it in search of the creature. You know, I've given it a name. I call it the Phantom Stalker. Have you heard of this Phantom Stalker before?
When I mentioned Phantom Stalker, his face darkened. A series of graceful gestures followed, hands blending with leaves, and then a throat-slitting motion. He's seen my target. As we trekked, he halted at a sun-dappled glade. There he pantomimed a grisly scene. A wild boar, alive but bound, then an invisible force descending, followed by silence. A sacrificial feeding, perhaps. That night he sketched a map in the dirt, marking 6 spots with slashes. 6 kills, I gathered, none in the same place. This Phantom Stalker is no mere beast. It is a tactician. Miralith 22nd. 4 days with my nameless companion, and his jungle craft is unparalleled. We set a macabre trap, a massive boar, sedated and tethered to the staked pole. Its scent amplified by my elf's herbal concoctions. He assures me, or so I interpret, that such an easy prey is irresistible. The creature's feeding habits are a revelation. It hunts sporadically, gorging itself before vanishing for days. A juvenile might need constant sustenance, but this suggests a mature predator, efficient in its kills. As we wait, the elf mimes building a nest, high and hidden. Of course, every apex predator needs a den, but where in this vertical maze? Miralith 25th. Our boar bait was taken 2 nights ago, without a sound, without a trace. In the morning, only a flattened patch of earth and a severed rope remained. No blood, no bones. It's as if the jungle itself consumed the offering.
It's completely disappeared, as though it were lifted into the thin air.
Biggie gone. Where to?
Swine be mine?
I've tracked plenty of quarry in my days. Never have I seen one not leave a trace behind, nor blood nor bone.
My companion's reaction was enlightening. Rather than resetting the trap, he led me to a new location miles away. Through gestures, he conveyed a chilling fact. The Phantom Stalker never strikes twice in the same location, nor under similar circumstances. It learns. It adapts. We aren't hunting a creature. We are hunting an intellect. Miralith 29th. I'm being watched, not by my elven guide, but by the jungle's ghostly tenant. The signs are subtle, yet undeniable, echoing primal instincts rather than mischievous intent. My food stores have been raided, dry meats gone, hardtack crumbled to bits. Interestingly, my salted items were left untouched, suggesting a preference for familiar scents. More alarmingly, my equipment has been sabotaged. The enchanted black powder pistol, which I used to dispatch a charging boar days ago, was found submerged in a nearby stream. Its arcane power intact, but the powder ruined. My rapier sheath was nowhere to be found. The exposed blade, untreated in this humid air, now bears flecks of rust.
Completely trashed my entire encampment. My rations gone. My ammunition damaged. My pistol found in the river. Baffling. In all my years, never has the
Mystery.
hunter become the hunted.
Strange.
Sorry, boy, I just don't understand you.
Man weird.
You have any idea where it could be? It's hiding here, somewhere. Perhaps watching our every move.
When I showed my elf companion these scenes, his reaction transcended our language barrier. The phantom stalker doesn't just hunt by instinct. It observes, remembers, and neutralizes threats. As we break camp, my guide's eyes constantly scan the upper boughs. His every moment cautious. Reverence speaks volumes. Up there, hidden in the jade twilight, our adversary watches, not from a simple den, but a strategic vantage point, a nest carefully chosen to oversee its domain.
I just don't know. I fear the quarries can get the best of us. It's frightening the birds as we speak. I can feel its eyes burning a hole in my skin.
Indeed.
You're an elf of few words. I respect that about you.
In 6 decades of hunting, I've faced countless beasts, each formidable in its own right. But this unseen hunter, with its capacity to analyze and adapt, elevates our duel beyond mere predator and prey. We have become 2 veterans, each testing each other's lifetime of skills. This jungle is our arena. Only one of us can emerge as its true master. Artemis first. A breakthrough, both astonishing and unsettling. For days the phantom stalker has defied logic, appeared in one glade and then another, leagues away with no trail in between. Its velocity mocked the laws of nature, leaving no signs of haste, until today. At dawn, I retraced its latest path through a petrified forest. I noticed tiny holes, each no wider than a darning needle's eye, scattered across miles. Plotting them on my map revealed a pattern, a zigzagging network, each hole roughly 5 feet from its neighbors. The truth was as fantastic as any tale from my wife Syria's grimoires. The creature teleports in rapid 5-foot hops, each pinprick hole marking where its form briefly solidifies before vanishing and reappearing. This strobe-like translocation let it move faster than any jungle cat. Implications staggering. It leaves no scent trail because its body rarely contacts the intervening space. It likely kills by blinking in, striking, and blinking out. Its mobility allows it to hunt treetops, water surfaces, and cliffsides. The phantom stalker isn't just adapting, it's redefining movement and ambush. Yabareth's diverse landscapes offer no impediment to such a being. Artemis III. 2 full moons have waxed and waned since I arrived in Cloycresh. My quarry, this phantom stalker, has consumed my every thought, every breath. Last night a chilling epiphany struck. This isn't merely a hunt, it is a crusade. As I revealed my journal by firelight, a pattern emerged. The beast's tactical brilliance, its ability to adapt, its near-perfect predation, such traits, if propagated, could birth a superior species. Imagine this phantom's progeny spreading beyond Cloycresh, infiltrating Yabareth's kingdoms one by one. Cities would become hunting grounds, citizens mere prey. I've faced dire threats before. My battle with the Frostfell Remoraz saved a dozen villages, but this is a plague in the making. Artemis 7th. My fears were no paranoid fancy. The stalker breeds. While scouting the upper canopy, I discovered a hidden alcove in an ancient banyan tree. Inside, nestled among aerial roots, were translucent gel-like sacs. Eggs, undoubtedly. Their yellow-green hue mirrors the jungle's palette perfectly. Most alarming was their texture. When touched, they seemed to shift colors slightly, as if even in embryonic form they're adapting to camouflage. I extracted one for study, noting its remarkable resilience. Not even my enchanted rapier's edge could easily puncture it. But the true horror was the tree itself. Its bark glistened with a yellow mucus-like substance concentrated around the nest. When it touched my skin, a bizarre tingling followed, similar to when I sensed the stalker's gaze. Could this be a pheromone? Chemical beacon guiding its kind to suitable nesting sites? I've encountered such mechanisms before. The catoblepas in mournful marshes used olfactory signals to mark territory. But for a creature this elusive to employ such a tactic, it suggests a terrifying truth. There may be more than one. A fledgling colony, perhaps, with Cloy Cresh as its incubator. Artemis 12th. My earlier methods were childish sparklers compared to what's needed. This calls for a bonfire. I've transformed my camp into a makeshift laboratory, using knowledge gleaned from 20 years of marriage to scholars, Sirius alchemical prowess, Nephrius toxicology, and Adamantus metallurgy. Their combined expertise now serves a higher purpose. My focus? That yellow pheromone-like gel. If it is indeed what is guiding the stalkers to optimal breeding grounds, reversing its properties could be our salvation. I've distilled the substance, isolating its key compounds. Early tests on the jungle fauna show promise. When exposed, creatures flee from their usual habitat. Imagine this repellent dispersed across the Aberth, rendering every forest, every bush hostile to these spectral invaders. But localized application is mere prevention. I seek eradication. Thus, I am engineering an augmented strain, one that triggers, not just aversion, but a systemic rejection. Picture it. A stalker drawn by its own pheromones enters a treated zone. Instead of comfort, it finds its very biology turned against it, its adaptive mechanisms thrown into chaos. A fetting end. Trapped by the very essence that guides its kind. Artemis 18th. Progress. But at what cost? My pheromone experiments have yielded a potent deterrent, yet its effects are broad. When testing it in a small glade, I watched in awe as every creature from tiny tree frog to mature jaguar went into anaphylactic shock. They didn't flee, they collapsed, their bodies rejecting their own environments. The jungle itself seemed to convulse, vines withering, flowers closing. Have I created not just a stalker repellent, but a localized extinction event? Such thoughts are luxuries. Today, I made a graver discovery. More nests. Dozens of them dotting the upper canopy like hidden cities. Even one coated with that telltale yellow sheen, some with fresher, almost luminous streaks. Are these from juveniles, newly matured and seeking territories? Or worse, are they from pregnant females, marking prime sites for their broods? The implications are catastrophic. This isn't merely a species, it's an advancing front, a silent, invisible wave preparing to wash over Yabreth. Artemis 25th. Desperate times demand visionary solutions. Using my dwarf-forged Earthshaker rods, I've been mapping Cloy Cresh's root network, an underground web as complex as the canopy above. At certain nexus points where ancient trees converge, I've discovered vast chambers. Some are natural, but others show signs of modification. Scrape marks that are too precise, entrance hollows too symmetrical. My blood ran cold at the realization. Communal nesting grounds, engineered over generations. Not just a colony, but a civilization in the making. It's here I'll make my final stand. I've converted my pheromone compound into vapor form, designed to permeate soil and bark. Each Earthshaker rod strategically placed at these root intersections will now double as a dispersion device. When activated, they'll pump the hybrid toxin through Cloy Cresh's very veins. Any stalker following its ancestral pathway home will be hit with the chemical tide, its own homing instinct becoming a death sentence. Trees, plants, lesser beasts, all will likely perish. Druids will call me a monster. Rangers may hunt me down. So be it. When sailors burn an infected ship to save a port, do we condemn them? Noxtis first. On the brink now, either in infamy or acclamation. As I prepare to unleash my insecticidal solution, Cloy Cresh offers one last chilling revelation. At dawn, performing a final survey, I saw it. The Alpha, the progenitor, the living shadow that spawned this looming plague. It moves not through the jungle, but as the jungle, each step modulating the very fabric of its domain. When it passed a flowering vine, the blossoms turned its exact hue, their petals morphing to match its silhouette. Near a moss-covered log, it became the moss, textured and color shifting in real time. But the most alarming was its size, twice that of any prey I've ever hunted. I thought of the Aberth's diverse landscapes, the iron spines, jagged slopes, the gold mire's shifting bogs, even my own estate's manicured gardens. In each, these creatures would adapt, becoming one of their surroundings. Undetectable apex predators in every biome. Tonight, under a moonless sky, I enact my most ambitious and perhaps final hunt. My hand hesitates over the Earthshaker's activation rune, not from doubt, but from the weight of history. I, Edminton Quincy Steelwell, stand at a crossroads. To my left, the path of restraint, where I am remembered as a great hunter who, in his twilight, lost his way in Cloycresh's depths. To my right, the road of a decision, an action, where I'm enshrined as Yavareth's unseen savior, the man who, at great personal cost, extinguished an evolutionary fire before it consumed our world. The choice is clear. Cloycresh may never recover from what I am about to do. Its ancient rhythms silenced, its verdant tapestry unraveled. Yet, in that silence, in that barren aftermath, Eabrith will be spared a fate far worse than becoming a continent-sized hunting ground. Its people unwitting prey to an invisible, ever-adapting menace. My name may be shrouded in controversy, my methods denounced by those too short-sighted to see the precipice. But when our grandchildren walk safely through their own woods, never knowing the phantom threat they were spared, then history will understand. The jungle dies so that our future may live. They are in third. Tonight in Cloycresh's heart, I, Edminton Quincy Steelwell, have etched my legacy in soil that may never spawn life again. After 2 months hunting the Phantom Stalker, I created a pheromone-based toxin to exterminate this adaptive threat. As I stood to activate my Earthshaker rods, my trusted elven guide attacked, or so I thought.
Everything seems to be in order here. All that's left now is for me to pull the detonator switch. We can get
Stop
these...
it!
No!
No!
What?
No!
You don't understand! This is the only way to
No!
do this!
You can't do it! No!
The cards.
My enchanted pistol fired. A lifetime's reflex, overwhelming reason. Only after did I realize his intent, not to attack, but to save his land. Yet doubt, like a jungle seedling, must not take root. Even he fell under the stalker's sway. I pressed the rune. By dawn, a circle of death radiated from my camp. Cloycresh's eternal vibrancy turned to dust. Now, kilometers of barren earth stand as my final greatest hunt. No leaf stirs, no more roots probe. At its heart lie 13 rods and my guide's remains, mute witnesses to my accursed decision. This scar will resist growth for ages, leaving future generations to ponder. Did I save the Aberth from a shadowy doom, or destroy an entire ecosystem?